Hi, good morning. So I'm trying to do like a mini vlog thingy for today since that book fair I usually tell you guys about is back in my school. And so, please excuse my hair. This is what I look like usually in the morning, especially when I am not going out, but I'm preparing to go out. So I would definitely try to do my best with it, even though because of the nature of my hair, it is very strong and very hard to comb, and I'm not using any products on it at the moment because I've always been skeptical about putting things and rubbing things on my hair. But I think I need to start if I want to like actually grow it like I intend and leave it and continue combing it every time I have to go out without suffering. But yeah, so I don't know, just join me for however short this will be. This is my outfit, this is my tote bag, and it is looking a bit dusty. I carried it just like 2 or 3 times last week, and I hate that it is white because it gives me so much issue having to wash it a lot, but I like it very much. And yeah, I am carrying this paper because I like carrying at least one paper to write. If I am going to write, I do not always write, but sometimes I end up writing. And yes, I carry this pen, and there's a black one there. I don't know if you can hear that ice cream noise, but it's the noise of like this ice cream truck. But these are the book on my bedside. So it's Anna Karenina by Tolstoy. Then we have Wording and Civil Disobedience and Matilda by Roald Dahl. My Bible is usually here, but it's in my bag also at the moment since I went to church yesterday. But I'll be carrying Anna Karenina and Matilda because they are the ones I am most likely to touch going out, even though sometimes I do not end up reading at all. So yeah, that's that. So I did the best I could with my hair, I guess, and I'll be leaving now. So yeah.
I don't try. My friend does say, give me one. There's one, the 7 8 husband. I don't really show that. I'm not fit. Let me read it because I know say.
Hi there, I'm John and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you are new here, welcome. I'm John from Nigeria, and on this channel we review books. If you're a fan of singular book reviews, book hauls, bookish shenanigans, everything bookish, we do it here. And if you're also a fan of written reviews, like long, lengthy written reviews, I write for the website lifeonbooks.com. I'll put it up here. So if you're a fan of essay length reviews, you can check that out. But I think a couple of videos back, I mentioned how the book fair that usually comes to my school, like where I went to school at, they are around this time. So I'm still in the school environment, so I decided to go there. And so thanks to a lot of few friends on Bookstagram, I was able to get like some books for this semester, and it's quite a number. We have about 14 here, and some of them are like about 3 of them were not from the fair though. Some were from, there's this vendor I've mentioned I used on here where you can stockpile over time, so I can see something I have the money for maybe now and pay for it, and I might not see something I like maybe till next month, but there's a 10-week limit, so after 10 weeks you have to order for your books. So I got this some over October till now. So this is the compilation of all those books. So let's just get into it. And I did a little vlog thingy at the start, which you'll probably see. So I think the last time I did it, someone said they would like to see more of it, and I hope you enjoy like whatever you see. I know it's going to be a lot of trees and whatnot, and a bit of the landscape around me where I live here. So I hope you enjoy it, if anything at all. And let's get into the books. The first one here is Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin, and you guys know I read Giovanni's Room in June, but read it on e-copy, and so I was praying that when they came around this semester, because I had only seen it one other time, and a very dear friend of mine was at the fair that day, but she was the first to see it, so she bought it. And so I don't know, I just said to myself that it would be so cool if they had this book, because I knew that they were coming I knew they were coming before they arrived here. I have the numbers of some of the people who work there. They're kind of like friendly acquaintances, since I have been buying books from them for over 4 years now. A lot of my books come from that fair. So I saw this that day, and I quickly snagged it. Like there was no going back, or there was not even thinking about it twice. And we know I love this book, and how it just Baldwin is such a great writer of conversation, and I cannot wait to read more of his works next year. It's nice when you read like some of these classic authors and you see that the rumors are indeed true. I love this book so much. Next one we have here is The Weight of Water by Anita Shreve, and I really did not know much about this book or even about the author. I don't know why I bought it. I just almost felt like I had seen this author's name famous for something somewhere, and it's one of those, you can just tell it's very mass market in the edition, the way it's published and everything. And I think it has a film or something like that. I don't know, I don't really know what it's about. It's one of those, it reminds me of when I purchased a similar book that did not fit what I read, but I just bought it for some reason. And let me show it. It's here. It was this one. So this book is kind of giving me the same vibes, like buying it's giving me the same vibes. But The Weight of Water, I don't really know what it's about, but I do not read the back of the books, but the blurb here says Shreve unravels themes of adultery, jealousy, crimes of passion, incest, negligence, loss and guilt, ultimately creating an almost intolerable tension. So looking to see what it's about. Family dynamics are something I really like in books, so The next book I got was a short story collection, an unknown one for that matter, and it's The Gender of Inanimate Objects and Other Stories by Laura Marello. So I saw this and it looked like more of, this independently published works, and I think that's actually what it is, because I do not know, it's Tailwinds Press here. I do not know the press, I do not know this author, I've never heard of it, but I just liked the size of the book, the cut of it also, and I do not own many short story collections, and I just thought like there are some times where you go out of your way to read like these books from maybe authors you might not have heard of, and even if you don't overly love them, they hold maybe some substance to them. So I got this book, and I think this story, The Journal of Inanimate Objects, from what I see here, is the longest story. So it's maybe a novella because it's 115 pages. So I do not know too much about this, but I'm glad I got it. One of the little blurbs written at the back here is a dazzling collection populated by stravers and gravers and criminals and romantics and cheaters and lonely hearts, that is written in prose that is at once luminous and unflinching. Laura Marello has given us another book that is deeply thoughtful, so totally human, wildly inventive, and downright haunting, and it's by one author of Goodbye Lemon, who I do not know. So I do not really know anything associated with this book, but I'm excited to read it and like tell you guys if I enjoyed it in the future. The next one on here is one I felt on my knees when I saw it, because it was an NY Arabic classic, and even though I did not know the author, I just know Americans really like this edition of books, and I don't know, I think they are maybe a bit expensive there, but it was shocking to see it here at the price I saw. It was like $1 and some, if I'm not mistaken, if I like translate it to my currency. But it's The Unknown Masterpiece by Honor de Balzac, which I do not know anything about this author. It's translated by Richard Howard and introduction by author C. Danto, although I don't really care about that because I do not read introductions. You know me, if the introduction is too long, I am out because I get annoyed and pissed at it. So yeah, the cover is really nice. It's these NYRB classics, they are really great. And funny thing is that this is the second one I have seen here at the fair. No, this is the third one, but this is the second one I saw and that I bought. The first one I got was Dirty Snow by Simenon, who I did not know, but I later found out was one of the best-selling authors of all time. So we now have two NYRB classics. The the paper types are kind of different, at least on the cover. This one feels more glossy, and this one feels more like paperback. But I'm just glad that I saw it and to read it and tell you guys what I think. Unknown authors, they are not things that scare me really, because I read Josh Perec on a whim without knowing anything about him in 2022, and I had never read anything like his writing when I read it, and it just blew me away. So I'm excited for some of these unknown works that I got. Next one on here is a classic, and it's Passing by Nella Larsen, which I know is a very famous short classic, very quick to read one. And a friend of mine, a dear friend who I body read with, you guys know her, at least you have heard of her a lot. She has read it and she has pushed me to read it so much, but I have not. But yeah, I finally saw a copy that I could tolerate, even though some pages were written like scribbled with pencil already. But if it's scribbled with pencil, there are times where I can just close my eyes and buy it. It has a Nigerian saying like close your eyes to do something. It's like I just overlook it. But yeah, I can close my eyes to buy it, and because I can clean the pencil marks off. But if it's something that is annotated and highlighted, pisses me so bad, and especially when it's something I really want. But even if it's something I really want, there are times when I have not gotten it because I just do not want somebody annotating for me. But yeah, Passing, I have it in this Black Penguin Classic edition, which is an addition to my Penguin Classic collection. So yeah, glad to own this and to read it soon. Next thing I got was a New Virginia Woolf, and it's A Room of One's Own, and I think this is like a collection of essays, and it has her in this and it's in this edition where she's sitting looking out a window, and I did not know if I thought this was a novel or something, but I just think it's a lengthy essay from what I've heard. And yeah, this is the third Wolf I own. I've not read any of her, but I just bought it because of the name. I think sometimes the name pushes you to do that, and it was quite cheap, so I got this one. And yeah, looking to maybe read some Wolf next year finally. Next thing I got is something I do not really buy, and it's maybe the first of its kind in my book collection. It's a poetry collection, and it's The Insistence of Beauty by Stephen Dunn. And this may be one of the best covers of anything I've ever seen in my life. I just love it. I love looking at it, just the colors, the way it just looks. I don't know if it's a painting or something, but whatever it is, I am in love with it. And I did not really know anything about the author or the collection, but I saw that the author was a Pulitzer Prize winner, so it just prompted me to get it a bit more. Next one I got was another one who the author or the book I'd never heard of, and it's The Mezzanine by Nicholas Baker. And I don't know why, but before I got it, something about the office office suit leg here, office pants legs here drew me, and there's one here at the back as well, but I did not really know anything about it. But I think I turned to the back and I saw something that mentioned David Foster Wallace, and it said this short but hugely inventive novel helped point the way for audacious styles of writers such as David Eggers and David Foster Wallace. So it means maybe the author was before those people. And the blurb at the top says captures the spirit of American corporate life and invests it with a passion and sympathy that is entirely unexpected. So I don't know, I just looked it up and I saw it had not been read a lot, but I need to open the book and see that there was a lot of footnotes in it. See, sometimes they are even very very lengthy footnotes, and I do not know what kind of style this is. I've never seen anything like it, so I'm excited to eventually read this. The next book I got is one I've mentioned I wanted to read on here so much, and I finally saw a copy that I could buy that was good enough, even though it's not actually good enough, because see the back, look at the back, but this is the front. It's Beloved by Toni Morrison, and yeah, I saw this and I swallowed my pride, irrespective of edition being stiff and not the best looking, and just got it because I really want to read it, and I do not want to read this from like the internet, like an archive or library edition or something. So I got it. It was not annotated, at least like the first one I saw, which had scribble marks all over it. But yeah, famous classic. I will probably maybe read this next year because I'm not sure it can fit into this year. But if I'm thinking of top authors I want to read next year, she's very much at the top of the list. I got Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates, and I do not really know anything about this. I just knew I had seen something about a film called Revolutionary Road with Leonardo DiCaprio, who is one of my favorite actors. Yeah, so I saw it and I was very intrigued by getting the book because I will eventually want to watch a film one day, since I really want to watch anything Leo has been in, and I know he's in it with Kate Winslet again, who of course the ultimate Titanic duo. So, and I love Titanic. So yeah, next I got one of the books I first saw from a channel on here like years ago from Emmy Reads. I don't know if that's how you say her name, but she's one of like the OGs. Maybe I don't know if, yeah, but I think she's one of the OGs, one of the bigger channels. But I first saw this book there, and it's Pedro Paramo by Juan Rufo, and I know a friend of mine on Instagram recently read this and he did not like it as much. But I saw this and I was not happy when I saw it at first to buy it, because I saw this as well in it, and I just, you know what I just said about annotations, and it's not like one, it's not two, it's a lot of them. But after lengthy debate, I think this is the first time I just decided to go for it. And it's not even like it's something that was so high on my list to read, because I don't also know what it's about. But yeah, I know that I have heard the story and the style is very breathtaking. So I was quite intrigued and I swallowed my pride. I guess I swallowed my pride, guys, so I got it. The next one here is a bit of a mystery, which is something I've not gotten in a while, and it's Case Histories by Kate Atkinson, an author who I've seen her name pop up so much over the past few months, weeks. But this one I had always known about, and I got actually because Stephen King says it's one of the best mysteries he's read in the last 10 years, as at when I saw whatever that post or article he was on was published. So yeah, and that thing he said is also written here. See, it's a Stephen King blurb: not just the best novel I've read this year, but the best mystery of the decade. I defy any reader not to feel a combination of delight and something that this sticker is blocking. But yeah, I am a mystery person, you know. It's not my like go-to genre anymore, even though it was what I started out reading. But because of King and because it's a genre I still have a lot of heart for from time to time, I got it. And yeah, very flappy. And yeah, and so the final three were the ones I got from the vendor online. Those were all the books I got from the book fair. But one of the books here is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness, and this is the first in a 3-part series, I think a trilogy. So yeah, it has this black spine that looks a bit dusty and oldie, but I do like the black of the spines, I would not lie. And yeah, I got this because I know it's kind of, I don't know if I know it's not a children's book, but it's kind of like, I don't know if it's YA horror, YA scary stuff, but I know there's some children thing going on here if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, even though I don't really know what it's about, I was very intrigued by it for some reason. And this is an example of when sometimes I read so many things outside my genre. You don't just see all of it every time, even though I am mostly a literary person, like people know. But yeah, I got this one. I've always wanted it, and I've always not seen a good copy, but I think I can manage this one. And I don't know if I'm going to read the whole of the trilogy, of course, because I have to like this very big, almost 500-page book. So yeah, if I like this one, then maybe we'll see about the rest. The second to the last book here is an Alex from What Page Are You On recommendation and favorites, and it's Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri, a short story collection that won the Pulitzer Prize in, I think, 1999 or 2000. But yeah, I only bought this because of Alex, and I know he loves it. I've watched all the videos on his channel, like I think 3 times. Maybe I might be on my 4th round of going through them now, and yeah, it's just a comfort thing for me. And I've seen him talk about how this collection is really great, one of the best, maybe the best he has ever read. And I'm not really a short story person, like I've said over and over, but I saw this here, and it's not easy that I've seen it in the country. And so I just closed my eyes, or another of those close my eyes situation, and got it. And yeah, I'm excited to read this in the future. Final book is kind of a big one because it's a book I've wanted for a long time, since the prequel changed my life, and it's The Testaments by Margaret Atwood, the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, which came out, I think, maybe 30 years or more after The Handmaid's Tale was released. And yeah, I saw this. I'd never been able to afford it, but I was finally able to get it. I just took this is probably the most I've spent on a single book, but I'm so grateful to my friends and everything. And I just took the plunge and got it because I do not want to read this book online, since The Handmaid's Tale is such a significant book in my, not just in my reading journey, but in my life, because it's the reason why I decided I loved to talk about books the way I do, to write on them and put my time into writing detailed reviews that sometimes make me cry, because it's hard to bring words together to say something, and to say something of meaning for people to read, to engage people to read what you think about something. And yeah, I wrote that review in 2022, and Atwood saw the post that I tagged her on Twitter and reshared it, and about 100 people, over 100 people read that, and it made me believe that this can be something I can do in my life. So I want to read the sequel. I've heard kind of mixed things about it, but mostly critical acclaim, because I know this won a prize. I cannot remember which one, but yeah, I'm so excited to finally own this. That brings us to the haul. That is my last haul of 2024, and I'm so grateful for everybody who has aided me in getting books, and all the times I've been able to get books of any sorts here. And yeah, I'm so glad to share that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm in a hurry because I think rain is about to fall. I don't know why it's consistently looking dark. It's usually more sunny by this time of the day, but I don't know what's going on today. So I am so thankful, and I'll probably see you in the next one.